Hey guys, I might be moving out of my house soon, but that's a story for another time. Thanks for joining me for my second vlog. I just flew in from Newberg, Oregon about an hour ago. As I mentioned in my first vlog, I spent the last 5 days in the Summer Institute for Medical Students program ran by the Hazeldon Betty Ford Foundation, which is an addiction treatment facility. So myself and 14 other medical students from around the country joined, and we spent a full day, Monday through Friday, at the facility, mostly with patients, but with lectures as well, learning everything about addiction. It was an intense week. I teared up twice. I think the last time was when I cried in front of my mom because I thought I wouldn't get into college, and that was 8 years ago. In one of our sessions, I was sitting across a patient who was sharing a letter she wrote to her addiction. So it started something like, "Dear Vodka." And as she read, her hands started trembling and her voice started trembling. And I noticed that my hands were trembling as well. I felt so uncomfortable because I think I saw a lot of myself in her story as a fighter. And that recognition that the distance between myself and someone with addiction is just probably a genetic predisposition. So let me try to explain very, very briefly what addiction is. It is an incurable chronic disease, as biopsychosocial, spiritual components to it. A lot more biology than I had previously thought. It's I think 50 to 60% heritable, meaning that the difference in someone getting addiction versus someone not getting addiction is accounted more than half by the difference in their genetics. So it often runs in families. The way to counter it is to treat not the addiction itself, because addiction is often a solution for a deeper problem, which is often self-esteem. So because of trauma, whether neglect or sexual abuse or some horrific experience, people acquire this deep self-loathing. One of my peers referenced a research about some happiness scale that they used to describe addiction, and say like 0 is I hate myself, I want to die, and 10 is I am blessed and perfectly happy. Like a normal person on a good day would be floating around a 7, whereas someone with addiction is constantly at a 2. And the only way they can get to a 7 is if they use. One thing we learned was that people with addiction tend to present themselves as egotistical to cover for their low self-esteem. If someone can drive themselves to achieve a lot and be powerful or independent, they can reject other people before they can be rejected. And there was a lot of reflection for me personally in that. At times I have wondered whether my drive is fueled by the ability to repel others. By being so independent, I won't have to worry if someone will reject me. And honestly, I wonder what the proportion of medical students who have self-esteem issues are, because we're so driven to achieve and be perfect. Could that be covering up a low self-esteem? And is that healthy? I bet you it's not just tied to addiction, but to depression and anxiety as well. And the treatment for addiction of having a community where everyone is invited to share their deepest worries and fears, crimes they've committed in the past, humiliations, sadness, everything. Open up and connect with others to feel supported and to feel like they support others. I'm sure that could heal a lot of other insecurities as well. Kind of wished I could bring this to medical school as well. What if students had a safe space to talk about anything? Say like we could talk about recreational drugs that we use without being punished, you know? I think, there are limitations, but there is always some benefit to being open and reflecting on ourselves and building true support and human connection. I don't think I explained this well. I'm a little tired. It was a beautiful experience, and I would really urge any medical student who is interested in psychiatry or internal med or family med, pediatrics, I don't know, anywhere you might be exposed to addiction, to sign up for this program. Among my 14 peers, I definitely formed at least a few lifelong friends, because going through such a vulnerable experience together allowed us to be vulnerable with each other as well. On Friday, after our session, we finished early. We explored a bit of Portland, went to a rose garden, bookstore, did some hiking. What else? I sprained my ankle on Monday because obviously I was sprinting down a hill in the dark and not looking at the ground because the trees in the distance were so beautiful. So I had a grade 1 sprain, not a big deal, I just need to rest it for a week. Oh, I just got my 2021 shirt for American Ninja Warrior. The episode is Monday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on NBC. So check that out and see how I did. I am very excited. I'm gonna try and plan a watch party somewhere on the campus, maybe, if it works. If not, that's fine too. And all the first years are here as well. And I'll be seeing my Medsib. So at Mayo Clinic, we match up between all the classes. So I matched with the first year, and my other Medsib, who's a third year, is hosting a little welcome party tonight. So we'll get to talk and listen in honesty and reflection and celebrate new friendship. So I think that's it. No recordings of Ninja Warrior stuff this week because I was sprained. Thanks for watching, and until next time, ciao. Correction. In my previous vlog, I mentioned I would be with 9 other medical students. In fact, that was 14. Sorry. That's the Economist reference. Kudos if you understood that reference.